when India was overtaken or overruled by British, India was colonized, then there was a great setback to the rich cultural past of India. These nationalist histories urged the readers to take pride in India's great achievements in the past and struggle to change the miserable conditions of life under British rule. So the people now were encouraged to read the nationalist history of India so that they should know about their rich cultural past and the struggle to change the miserable conditions of Indians under the British rule. These efforts to unify people were not without problems. So although the people wanted to unite and unify everybody, but it was a very difficult task, a challenging task for them. When the past being glorified was Hindu, when the images celebrated were drawn from Hindu iconography, then people of other communities felt left out. So this was one main problem, that majority of the things promoted the Hindu feelings, Hindu thoughts and ideas, and other religions, other communities felt alienated. Conclusion. A growing anger against the colonial government was thus bringing together various groups and classes of Indians into a common struggle for freedom in the first half of the 20th century. The Congress, under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi, tried to channel people's grievances into organized movements for independence. Through such movements, the nationalists tried to forge a national unity. But as we have seen, diverse groups and classes participated in these movements with varied aspirations and expectations. As their grievances were wide-ranging, freedom from colonial rule also meant different things to different people. The Congress continuously attempted to resolve differences and ensure that the demands of one group did not alienate other. This is precisely why the unity within the movement often broke down. The high points of Congress activity and nationalist unity were followed by phases of disunity and inner conflict between groups. In other words, what was emerging was a nation with many voices wanting freedom from colonial rule. So the conclusion is that although all sections of people in the country wanted freedom from colonial rule, but their expectations from the freedom movements were different. They were reacting in a different way. Their ideologies were different from one another. Their expectations were different, and that is why there were differences in various sections of people living in India. But ultimately, their aim was one, and the aim was to free themselves from the foreign yoke, to turn the British out of the country. So, more or less, we can say that the people were united. Some differences are there. When the population of a country is such a vast one, then we can't expect every Indian or every human being to have the same ideology, the same thinking. It is humanly not possible. So differences were there, but one main ideology was there in every heart, that was to free India from the British now and attain independence, be a free and independent country. So with this, the chapter comes to an end, and as I have every time told you children, please read everything very thoroughly, line by line. Whichever things I have told you to mark, that is one side of the story. But when you will read yourself, you might come across some more lines which you think are important for you. So in that case, keep learning, keep revising, keep reading. Okay? And from the PDF, do the question answers. Thank you. Have a nice day.